welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Treasure, your new favorite mental health girly. Welcome, babe. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos. For today's topic, I really want to talk about setting intentions. For me, this year is really about the year of intentionality, and I was supposed to film this video at the beginning of the year. That didn't happen because life. And if you are anything like me, the first 3 months of this year kicked my behind. But there are still 9 months left, which is so much time to turn things around. And that is why I am making this video now, because I really want to help other people out there. Whether you are going into a depression or coming out of one, I have broken down 4 different phases of what depression would look like for you as far as setting intentions and setting realistic goals. I feel like this is so important because there are so many videos out there that are telling you how to glow up, be the best version of yourself, do all of these things to turn your life around, but I don't see any content talking about the people that are depressed or going through something. And the videos that are telling you how to glow up, while they're great, they're not really helpful for someone who feels like that's not an option for them. That is where I come in, and I make it a way for you to have your own version of a glow up based on what you are feeling and what type of headspace you are currently in. All of these things are all suggestions. There's no pressure. Take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't. Share this with someone if you think that it could help. I will make sure to leave the timestamps below to let you know which blocks we are in. So if you just want to fast forward to that part because that's the part that's for you, or if you want to watch it all the way through and then you'll be able to help someone else, I would love that as well. Whatever works for you, babe. But let's go ahead and jump into this video. Now, I wanted to keep this super simple and not overwhelm you, so I'm only going to do a list of 3 goals for each category. We're only doing 4 categories. These are the categories that I feel like are the most important as someone who has suffered through depression and feel like I have gone through every single phase possible. Keep in mind that this is all very subjective. I am not a doctor, a therapist, a life coach, any of the sort. This is all based off of experience and what I would have liked to had a guide to use while I was depressed and didn't have. Now, the first phase of depression is either you're going into a depression or you don't even know that you are depressed. These goals are going to be very much self-driven, but also very attainable. Now, what I mean by either going into depression or not even knowing you're depressed, I will use my personal experience for each phase. Now, in the beginning, when I was very in denial and did not know that I was depressed, I was getting up every morning crying my eyes out until it was time for me to get to work. I literally stopped crying, and then the moment it was time for me to be off work, it's like a light switch turned on and here I was crying again. I had no idea why this was happening or what was going on. I just knew that something was off. I also didn't know that was my body and my mind telling me that something's not right and you need to pay attention. That is why these 3 goals are going to be self-care driven. Number 1 is going to be a daily routine that are all incorporated with self-care activities. Read a book with a lit candle, take long baths, long showers, have some much needed quiet time. Make sure that they are things that are going to bring you a sense of calm. This will ground you on your more stressful days and then give you a sense of accomplishment on your really good days, because you'll feel like it's a treat after having a fantastic day. But if it's a day where you are really stressed out, you are not understanding what's going on, this is going to give you a sense of calm. Number 2 is going to be a physical activity. This is going to be something light, nothing with high intensity. You want to do walking, maybe some jogging, yoga, but not the super difficult yoga. You want to do the yoga that's more of a stretching kind of vibe, because yoga can get very intense, but you don't want to do anything that's going to overexert your body too much. Working out releases your happy endorphins, and they are natural mood boosters. So that's why this is going to be very important for you to incorporate into your daily routine, because it will give you a little bit of a boost of confidence. It will give you a little bit of happiness, even if it is not a long span of time. When you are feeling or in that state of mind, any glimpse of excitement or happiness is really going to make a big difference and also contribute to a positive mindset. Number 3 is going to be mindfulness. I talk about this a lot, but it is so important. You want to make sure that you are breathing, taking those deep breaths and really recentering your mind and your body. I say it all the time, the 4-4-4 method is going to be your best friend. There are so many different other breathing exercises, but for me personally, I like the 4-4-4 method because meditation, in my opinion, is not my friend. I do not like to do long periods of meditation, and the 4-4-4 method is something super quick but also super effective. If you can meditate or do breathing exercises over a span of 5 minutes. That will literally do so much for your mental health. But if you can't, doing the 4-4-4 method, where you are breathing in, inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, and exhaling for 4 seconds. If you do that once or twice, you will have a chance to let your mind kind of relax and recenter you before you have to continue whatever task or things that you're doing for that day. Just to recap before we move on to the next, we want to have a daily routine that incorporates self-care. We want to have a light physical activity, and we want to practice mindfulness. These are 3 realistic goals that you can practice over the next 9 months if you are going into depression or if you are unaware that you are depressed. Phase number 2 of depression is when you are having depressive episodes. These 3 goals, I need you to make sure that you are being extremely patient with yourselves, because every day is going to look different. You may have days where you have bursts of energy and you feel like you can take over the world, and you're going to have a lot of days where you feel like you don't even want to open your eyes in the morning. It can be from one extreme to the next, and I don't want you to use one day or the other to compare about how much you've been able to get done or accomplish, because that's not what's important. What's important is that you got something done. These 3 goals are going to be focused on being present and being patient. Number 1 is going to be mindful breathing. Just like the first phase of depression, you want to make sure that you are breathing. Now, this is going to be something that you want to make sure that you are doing throughout the day, because you are going to have plenty of moments throughout the day where you are just not feeling it, babe, and that is okay. But doing these very short moments of breathing are going to recenter you. If you need to do them 20 times a day, that is okay. If you're having a day where you only needed to do it 5, great. Make sure that you are doing these breathing exercises throughout the day, because you are going to need them. Number 2, you are going to set small achievable tasks. These tasks are going to be based on what you are feeling for that day. So if it is a day where you barely want to get out of the bed, you are going to write down things that you want to get done that you can get done while being in the bed. If there are days where you can get up and get out of the bed, these tasks are going to be small tasks that you can accomplish by getting out of the bed. For example, if you're having a day where you don't really want to move from the bed, maybe write down the task of sitting up in the bed for an hour instead of laying down, or reading a paragraph out of a book. If it is a day where you are able to get out of the bed, maybe you're gonna say, I'm taking a shower today. That was an achievable task. or maybe if you're feeling even good enough to go for a walk, that is also a good thing. For me, during my depressive episodes, most days I was not getting out of the bed. On days where I was feeling a little bit better, I would move from my bedroom to my couch, and days where I was feeling a little bit better than that, I would walk 2 to 5 steps to my mailbox to get the mail. I wasn't being outside for a long period of time. I didn't go for these hour or 10-15 minute walks. I just walked right outside my door and came back in. These were all based on how I was feeling that day, because when you're in a depressive episode, you never know how you're going to feel. The most important thing is for you to set small, achievable tasks. Number 3 is going to be having patience with your progress. Celebrate your small wins without judgment. Do not minimize the task that you have completed by how big or how small the task is based on what society thinks. People that have never been depressed are not going to understand the things that are really hard for you to do versus when you are not depressed. Taking a shower is something that is extremely hard when you are depressed. So if you took a shower, that's a huge accomplishment. Taking a shower when you're not depressed is not going to be that big of a deal to someone who's never been depressed before. This is why I say celebrate your small wins and to make sure that you are having patience with your progress. If you were able to take 2 showers in a week, that is amazing. If you weren't able to take any showers for the whole week, but you sat up in bed, that is also amazing because you did something. Now, to recap, you are going to make sure that you are having mindful breathing throughout the day. You are going to set small, achievable tasks for your day based on the mindset that you are having, and you are going to be patient with your progress, making sure that you are celebrating your small wins and not minimizing anything that you have accomplished for the day. Phase 3 of depression is going to be coming out. These goals are going to be focused on action and things that you can do to get yourself back into a normal routine. Number 1 is going to be having a more consistent daily routine. So that could be waking up and going to sleep at the same time every day, having scheduled meals where you eat at the same time of the day, and of course, practicing basic self-care that you do daily. Number 2 is going to be gentle physical activity that will increase as you are able to do it. This is something that you have to just listen to your body for, but you start with short walks. If you're someone who thinks that you want to be into running, then you would start with short walks, short slow walks, and gradually get yourself into running. If you want to start with yoga, you'll probably start with some stretching and then gradually get yourself into doing some yoga or maybe even Pilates. But the point is that you are practicing a gentle physical activity as you are gradually coming back into the world, and you can increase as you feel you are comfortable to do once you are at that point in your journey. Number 3 is going to be exploring some hobbies and interests. Now, while you were depressed, you probably lost your sense of interest in anything that you may have prior been into. So this can mean either getting back into things that you used to enjoy or simply just finding new things that you like to do, but making sure that you are scheduling time to practice those new hobbies or activities. For me, I really enjoy baking and I want to get back into baking for me, which was a goal that I had for myself. I've been doing a little bit this year so far, but I definitely, by the end of this year, want to really get back into baking because I do enjoy it. But obviously, while I was depressed, I was not thinking about baking, babe. So it's something that is on my to-do list, and I do intend to take the steps to get back into it. Another thing that I want to get into that is new is me getting out of the house. I've always been a homebody. Even before depression, I really don't care to be outside, but I do want to, you know, kind of get myself to hang out outside a little bit more. So that's something new that I am currently working on. I've been outside a little bit this year, not as much, but I am definitely working myself up to it. But those are just two examples of things where it was one old thing and one new thing that I am practicing to do. Just to recap, we want to have a more consistent daily routine. We want to practice gentle physical activity where we increase as we feel is necessary, and we want to either get back into some old or start some new hobbies and interests. Last but not least, this is going to be goals that you would have once you are newly out of depression. You have made it this far, babe. Let me just say that I am so proud of you. I love you. You did that. Now, let's get into 3 attainable goals where these are going to be very intentional goals for yourself because you have just blossomed into a beautiful flower. You have come out of your cocoon and you are now a beautiful butterfly. You have transformed truly into a new person. So you want to be very intentional with how you want to live this new life that you are creating for yourself, because now you are no longer depressed and you deserve it, babe. Number 1 is going to be establishing a healthy lifestyle. This is going to be from top to bottom. Eating healthy, exercising regularly. You want to make sure that you're incorporating self-care because that is definitely important. And also you want to make sure that you are getting enough sleep. Most importantly, you want to make sure that you are making your well-being a priority. Number 2, you want to make sure that you are setting and pursuing personal growth goals. Set your intentions to continue to develop yourself because you are actually learning a new version of yourself. So you want to make sure that you are identifying specific goals that you want to accomplish, whether that be learning new skills, education, but most importantly, you want to make sure that you are aligning yourself with your passions that you want in your life. You also want to make sure that you are celebrating your milestones as you are hitting those goals. Last but not least, you want to have a coping toolkit. I would be wrong to tell you that you will not have triggers because you will. And when you are triggered, it is going to feel like you are depressed, but you're not, babe. Don't worry, you are not depressed, it just feels that way. But that is why it is so important for you to have coping mechanisms that help you recenter yourself. If you do not have coping mechanisms, you can definitely get sucked back into depression. But I don't want that for you, babe, and I know you don't want that for yourself. So some examples of coping mechanisms could be journaling, meditation, a creative outlet where you could draw or paint. Now, let's recap. You want to make sure that you are establishing a healthy lifestyle for yourself from top to bottom. So eating healthy, exercising, practicing that self-care. You want to make sure that you are setting and pursuing your personal growth goals. So learning new skills, education, following those passions of yours, celebrating your accomplishments within your goals, and creating a coping toolkit for those times when you are triggered so you can avoid being sucked back into depression. Now, there are so many different things that you can do for the different phases of depression to work and help with your mindset. So if some of these things don't work for you, that is okay, babe. Everything doesn't work for everyone. I do hope that you were able to take something away from this video that can help you with whatever phase of depression you may be in. But always remember, the most important part is for you to stay present within your body and listen to it because it will tell you what you need. That is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video helped you. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you are going to use any of these goals for the next 9 months, I know I will be, babe. Subscribe, join the family, become a fellow mental health girly, and I will see you in the next video. Love you, babe.